government of India has set the ambitious goal of reaching a developed country status by 2047. With our analysis shows that this is possible. This will require growth to increase to a 7.8% average over the next 23 years. And this will require stepping up the reform momentum, stepping up reform implementation, and boosting investment, labor market participation, and technology and efficiency in the economy. So it is possible, and we see that development as something that some other countries have achieved. We have an old report prepared globally at the World Bank called the Growth Commission Report that showed that 13 countries managed to achieve a growth rate averaging more than 7% over a period of 25 years. And of those 13 countries, 6 of them managed to become a high-income country. So it is possible.
And so, what are the areas that government should focus on to achieve that 7.8% growth that you were mentioning?
Yeah.
So what are the key areas where government can focus? Because government has initiated various reforms.
Yes.
Still
Yes.
the state of Indian economy is not doing that well.
Yes. So thank you for this question. Our analysis shows that for India to achieve 7.8% average growth rate, all the sources of growth need to be powered up, right? India has done very well to date by growing at an average of 6.3% over the past 25 years and an average of more than 7% over the past 3 years. So, the past suggests that India has the foundation to meet its long-term ambition. But this requires that all the drivers of growth be really super activated. So, and this is linked to the question on reforms. So what reforms will be needed to power up the sources of growth? First source of growth is capital, is investment, right? Investment rates are now at about 33%. Our scenario for India to achieve high income by 2047 suggests that the investment rate for overall investment rate will need to reach about 40%. This means private investment will need to increase fast because public investment will increase perhaps, but it cannot increase a lot more than where it is now because of government goals of fiscal consolidation, which is also a very good goal. Maintaining fiscal discipline is very important for ensuring stability in the economy. So private investment will need to grow quite fast, and that will require a number of reforms to make it easier for private sector investors to operate, to create businesses, to create jobs, and be profitable. Right. The second source of growth that will need to be powered is the human capital and labor side. India's labor force participation, whether it is from male workers or female workers, is at 55% compared to about 65% for peer countries. So India has a huge demographic dividend, a lot of young people entering the labor force. If this can be capitalized upon to increase the participation of everybody in the labor force so that you have more productive and paying jobs, that will increase the level of growth. And we have estimated that, for example, by increasing female labor force participation to where it is today to about 55%, that will add another 1 percentage point to growth because, that's what the global experience shows. So there is a need to improve the workings of the labor market through more policies. Maybe in some states, the labor market needs to be made more flexible. Maybe the working hours need to change. Maybe female workers need to be allowed to work. And then maybe they need to have policies to improve safety of transportation for women workers, maybe to improve creche availability for women workers, and maybe overall labor market policies such as what it takes to hire a worker or to change the composition of the labor force to respond to market demand. Sometimes you need to reduce the share of certain skills and increase the share of other skills. And some firms may face constraint in doing that. So labor market flexibility will be also an important area to look at from the reform point of view. The third driver of growth that will also need to be powered up is the efficiency of the economy overall. How efficient workers are, how efficient capital and investment are, how efficient infrastructure are operating, how efficiently infrastructure are operating rather, and how efficient is the interaction or the interface between the public sector and the private sector. So these together are something that we call total factor productivity, and this need to be increased also. And we estimate that if it could increase from where it is now, about 2 to 2.5% to about 3%, that will help achieve the overall goal of 2047. So these require also some reforms to make the economy more agile and more productive.